Did you know that stress can be one of the leading causes of mental health issues at the workplace? And how can it not be? Let's take a look at some of the things that we have to deal with. Number one, tight deadlines where everything is lastminute.com. Number two, heavy workloads where everybody demands you to do more with less. And number three, managers who just don't know how to manage. But all is not lost, I promise you that. There are three main tips that you can use to manage stress in the workplace. So the first tip, manage your time and set boundaries. Don't try to always make it work. That's not going to work for you. Sometimes you are going to have to push back and take on the work. I'm not saying you don't do that. Take on the work, but then sit down with your manager and say, for everything that you give me, you have to take something off. First of all, you will show your manager and the company that you are a team player. Secondly, you will also show them that you do have your limits and they're going to have to take that into account. Tip number two, practice mindfulness. As I've said in my other videos, it doesn't matter what you do. Go for a walk. Take 2 minutes to self-reflect. Take 5 minutes of meditation. It really doesn't matter. Just take some you time. And where you can, take some extended time off. Now, some of us are just not blessed with that type of schedule. So where you can't take a week or two, take a day or two off and make sure that during that scheduled time off that you disconnect. That way you can come back to work re-energized. Tip number three, communicate, communicate, communicate. I get it. For a lot of us, that is very difficult to do. But we have to try to communicate with our company, with our manager to make sure that they understand what works for us and what doesn't work for us. That way, nothing comes as a surprise to anyone, especially you. Most important, give solutions to some of the problems that you have identified. That way, you don't look like you're just a blocker, but you're trying to actually come up with workable solutions for you, for your team, and for the manager effectively, and for the company as well. And that amount of goodwill will go a long way to serve you in your career and how to manage your stress as well. One of my best managers gave me some indispensable advice early on in my career. What he told me was this: when times are good, that's when you ask. When times are bad, that's when you put your head down. And those are words that I live by. And I tell you this because I don't want you to wait until times are bad before you start to take care of yourself and try to reduce your stress. You know how your manager is going to perceive you. You know how the company is going to perceive you. And if you want to maintain your career in your company, you need to do these things before times become bad. Now, asking can be things that reduce your stress, and asking can also be about structural changes in the workplace so that it doesn't just reduce your stress, but the stress of the company overall. That's something the managers and the company are a lot more open to today than they ever were before. So take advantage of that and make sure that your voice is heard in a constructive way. The stress will go down for you and the temperature will go down overall within the organization that you're in. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe and leave us your comments with any topics that you want the LU Health team to tackle, and we'll get to it as quickly as we can. Thanks and take care.